Hi boys and girls. This video will cover the second part of section 1-2, dividing or the quotient of powers. Okay. In the first section, we multiplied two numbers with like bases. We added the exponents. Well, when we divide two numbers with like bases, we subtract the exponents. And here's why. Well, their explanation is kind of unwieldy here. Let me give you my simple version of it. If we have never mind that, 3 to the 6th power over 3 to the 2nd power. What this really means is we have 6 3's on top, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all being multiplied together. And on bottom, we have 2 3's being multiplied together. Well, you know as well as I do that a number over a number equals 1, right? So that means that these can be reduced. These can be canceled out, and they equal 1. But 1 times anything is the anything. So they're not really needed in this problem. And all we have left is 4 3's on top. Okay? So what we could have done in this case, instead of writing all this out, we could have said 3 to the 6 minus 2, top exponent minus bottom exponent, and got 3 to the 4th power. It would have been quicker. That is the quotient of powers property. Okay. So this pretty much explains what I just told you. If you have 3 to the 6th over 3 to the 2nd, you subtract the top exponent minus the bottom exponent. And that would give you 3 to the 6 minus 2, which is 3 to the 4th. You could also use this for algebra terms. This is the algebra explanation of it. We'll do examples, so you'll get to see how that works. Down here, we have 3 to the 7th over 3 to the 3rd, which is 3 to the 7 minus 3, or 3 to the 4th. Always remember top exponent minus the bottom exponent. So here we have example 4. We have x to the 8th over x to the 2nd. So this basically is x to the 8 minus 2. You don't have to write this. It's written for you right here. But what's 8 minus 2? 6. So this is equal to x to the 6th. Here I have another example. This would be z to the 12 minus 4. Remember, top exponent minus the bottom exponent, which would give us z to the 8th. Okay. Example 5. Now they're going to throw in some word problem-y things. Hawaii's total shoreline is about 2 to the 10th miles long. New Hampshire's shoreline is about 2 to the 7th miles long. How many times longer is Hawaii's shoreline than New Hampshire's? All right, so what you would do is you would take the larger of the two numbers, which is clearly going to be 2 to the 10th, and you divide it by the smaller of the two numbers. Well, now we have 2 to the 10 minus 7, which is 2 to the 3rd. So that means that Hawaii's shoreline is 2 to the 3rd times longer than New Hampshire's. So we'd have 2 to the 3rd, and then they want you to make it a number, so you can just say it's 8 times longer. Okay? Right, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. All right, so here's our check. The table shows the seating capacity of two different facilities. About how many times as great is the capacity of Madison Square Garden in New York than a typical movie theater? All right, well, if you want to know how many times bigger something is, you take the larger number and you divide it by the smaller number. Okay, so this gives us 3 to the 9 minus 5, which gives us 3 to the 4th power. All right, 3 to the 4th power, and now we know it's one of these two because these both say 3 to the 4th power, but is that 64 or 81? Well, think about it. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Isn't this equal to 9? And this is equal to 9. And 9 times 9 is 81. Perfect. Okay. Moving on to example 6. This one has got something going on here. Okay. We learned in the last section that when you're multiplying monomials together, you can rearrange them. Okay, so what I would do here is I would rearrange this. I would do the constants first, 2 times No, I can't. Nope, take that back. Whoops. I thought this was a different problem. Ignore me for a second. Just pretend I didn't say that. Okay. These, you have to look at the bases. Do they have like bases? These don't have like bases. You can't combine those. All right. These don't have like bases. You can't combine those. But we can divide these up. We can do 2 to the 5th over 2 to the 3rd, or 2nd, times 3 to the 5th over 3 to the 4th, times 5 to the 2nd over 5 to the 1, because you know if it doesn't have an exponent, it's a 1. Okay? Then you can simplify these each individually, and that's what they're doing here. 2 to the 5 minus 2, so you would go top minus the bottom. 2 to the 5 minus 2 is 2 to the 3rd power. 3 to the 5 minus 4 is 3 to the 1st power. And 5 to the 2 minus 1 is 5 to the 1st power. Okay? Then if you want to evaluate means tell me what it's equal to. 2 to the 3rd is equal to 8. 3 to the 1st is equal to 3. And 5 to the 1st is equal to 5. And if you multiply these all together, you will get 120. If you want to do that in your head, 8 times 5 is 40. 40 times 3, 120. Okay. That one was pretty messy. Here's another one. Notice that they have matched up the bases just like they did in the last example. So we can think of this as 2 to the 2nd over 2 to the 1st times 3 to the 3rd over 3 to the 1st. Remember, if it doesn't have an exponent, it's a 1. And 4 to the 5th over 4 to the 4th. Simplifying this would be 2 to the 2 minus 1 times 3 to the 3 minus 1 times 4 to the 5 minus 4. This would be 2 minus 1 is 1, times 3 minus 1 is 2, times 4, 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay? Now, we don't have to write the ones. This is probably over there looking just like this, with no ones. So let's see which one of these is correct. Wow, A is looking really good to me. Yep, I think A is our winner right there. Okay. All right, this one, we're getting a little bit more going on. They've got this written for you as a fraction, and you'll notice there's a 12 over a 2, okay? We're going to separate this out just like we normally do. We'll have 12 over 2 times w to the 5, or w to the 5th, over w to the 1st, all right? What does 12 over 2 reduce to? 12 over 2 is 12 divided by 2, which is 6, okay? And w to the 5 over w to the 1 is w to the 5 minus 1. So this reduces to 6w to the 4th. Okay. So here we'll do the check problem. The first thing I want you to realize is we have 24 over 6. And then we have k to the 9th over k to the 5th. 24 divided by 6 is 4. And k to the 9 minus 5 is 4k to the 4th. Okay. K, see what I did there? Now here's an application problem. The processing speed of a certain computer is 10 to the 12th instructions per second. A second computer has a processing speed that is 10 to the 5th times as fast as the first computer. A third computer has a processing speed of 10 to the 15th instructions per second. Which computer has the fastest processing speed? All right, well, it tells you that the first computer has a processing speed of 10 to the 12th power. But then it tells you that the second computer is 10 to the 5th times faster, okay? So in order to get the second computer, you would have to take the first computer and multiply that by 10 to the 5th, because it's 10 to the 5th times faster than the first one. Well, when we have two numbers with like bases, we add the exponents. So the second computer has a processing speed of 10 to the 17th, right? First one has 10 to the 12th, second one has 10 to the 17th. And then the third computer has a processing speed of 10 to the 15th. And the question says, which computer has the fastest processing speed? Well, clearly that is the second computer with 10 to the 17th. This is super fun. Bolivia has a population of 10 to the 7th. I'm getting a feeling I need to write this down. Bolivia has a population of 10 to the 7th, while the population of Aruba is 10 to the 5th, and the Philippines, which I'm not going to completely write out because it's a really long word, has a population that is 10 to the 3rd times greater than Aruba. So we take Aruba, 10 to the 5th, and we make it 10 to the 3rd times greater. Times means multiply. So the Philippines is 10 to the 5 plus 3, which is 8, right? So let's see. Aruba has the least population. That's true. Aruba has the smallest because Aruba is 10 to the 5th, Philippines 10 to the 8th, and Bolivia 10 to the 7th. Check the rest of them. Bolivia has the greatest population. No, the Philippines is greater. The Philippines has the least population. Couldn't be further from the truth. They're the biggest. And Bolivia and the Philippines have the same population. That's not true either. So we feel pretty good about A. All right, that brings us to your practice assignment. All right, I want you to go ahead and look at these practice problems, but your real assignment is going to be on reveal. And that will be the Part B practice, which will become active on Wednesday, the 16th, I think. Yeah, Wednesday the 16th, and will close on Friday at midnight. So you will have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to work on the reveal practice assignment on the reveal website. All right. I hope this video has helped. Thank you for coming by, and I will see you later.